gamers, today we're back with another one. We are going to go through the games of the quarterfinal match between TheMista and myself. Let's get into it. This was game number 1. Now, Mista, for those that know or maybe don't know, he has been away for like 9 months or something, 8-9 months. He's back. He's been practicing for a couple of weeks, I guess. He had the pleasure of meeting me in the quarterfinals of the EGC Call to Arms tournament. It's a best of 5, and this was game number 1. Yeah, he's back from farming. So this was game number 1, and this was Malian versus Acid. Now, so whenever I look at my opponents, I like to see like what their weaknesses are, you know, what I can use and abuse kind of thing. So one thing that I saw is he was rushing castles very, very often, and he was skipping a lot of the units, and whenever the opponents in the group stage would not make any attacks or any units, Mista would kind of go a little bit greedy, and by the time they realize what's going on, it's kind of too late. Like, he just overwhelms them and gets a W, and then people who were more aggressive had a lot better success versus him. So what I decided to do is to just not let him play his own game, to make sure I put the pressure on him so that, you know, I can kind of play my game, but also not let him like get too greedy and stuff like that. So I got double forward gold. I mean, this is like semi-forward, I guess, and then I got forward woodline. So, you know, the classic El Clasico Beasty as usual. Great spawn kick W, but it is what it is. And my goal was, because Mista also has like unique strategy that he can do, so I was like, okay, I just gotta scout what he's doing, and if he's like going for second TC or something, I just gotta put pressure on him in order to, again, not let him get too wild. So in this matchup, Abba usually goes for like military wing, and then they put some pressure onto your pit. So I was like, maybe he's gonna do like a ram even, maybe he's gonna do horseman or commit. So what I wanted to do actually is, even though he would be doing that, I wanted to put pressure on him in the back, because that's what people usually did not do against him. So I didn't want to let him do whatever. So my idea was, I'm going to try to stop his stone / second TC. And behind it, I'm going to go pro scout and take all his deer. So I wanted to not let him put second TC here. And second, pro scouts is kind of outdated strat, like it's not really used anymore. So I figured he was probably not going to expect it. So now I have a scout here, the warrior scout, doing some damage. He's microing the villagers. I don't think he lost a single one, but you know, it's delaying his TC a little bit. And I'm sending all scouts across the map, so that if he attempts TC, I can stop it. I do lose 2 houses over it, but it was, in my opinion, pretty worth it, because now he sees that the scouts are moving across the map, so he cannot make a TC here because he has no barracks, right? So he doesn't make a TC here. I see it, which is kind of what I wanted, and now I managed to push this back. Like I said, I lost 2 houses, but whatever. I go pro scouts, and he manages to get back home, which a bit unfortunate. Like, maybe I could have picked off those, but it is what it is. So now, as I'm waiting for my pro scouts to finish, I'm going around to like harass whatever I can. I'm checking his gold. I want to see if he's like aging up. Like, I want to see if he's like trying to rush castle like he has in the past. And I saw 4 villagers on gold, which doesn't mean he's rushing castle. He's just probably getting gold for upgrades. But I was like, okay, I can deny that too. And because his TC was so fast, I knew that he has no eco upgrades and he had no wheelbarrow, because you can see villagers are slow as fudge. So now I'm just chilling here. I'm denying, you know, nothing special. My pro scouts finishes. So I just decided to go around and, well, I managed to yoink the deer. I'm still putting pressure here because I don't want him to come defend this. I want to scoop this up for free. And he's defending here. You can see he's putting more villagers on gold, and now he's starting some of the upgrades. And one deer pack is already gone, and each deer is 350. So that is what? 2,450, 2,000, basically 2,500 food gone from his side of the map. I'm gonna yoink the second deer pack, and I basically get all 4 deer packs for myself, which was really nice. And now I see big army move out. So I was like, okay, he's all in feudal, or at least like he's doing a push. I don't know if he's necessarily all in, but he's doing a committed push in feudal. I went to get the other deer pack, and I was like, okay, if I take some damage, you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm making javelin throwers. I've got my cow boom going. So as long as I don't take some crazy damage, I already kind of done damage to him by taking these deer. And I have enough javelin throws, he just goes back, and I suspect that he's aging up, because if you're all inning, you just go for it, right? You can't just go back. But this was like some kind of pressure into fast age up. And now, because his food sources are pretty much out, like his second TC is not on deer, so he already ran out of berries almost, ran out of sheep, so now he has to wall this, which is a lot of wood to use. And the only other berry patch he has is here. So my idea was kind of to just starve him out, basically. I see now that he's aging up. With the culture wing, I managed to get a couple of workers, which was very nice. I'm harassing on the other side. He has no wheelbarrow, so this is like quite annoying for him. I'm getting all the deer, I'm aging up, things are looking good. And at this point I felt pretty comfortable. I knew that he's in a terrible spot economically, like even though it might look like he has more, you know, workers. I have cows with ranches, so I'm actually pretty far ahead economically. And I had more eco upgrades, and my wheelbarrow is about to finish, so... And I also have the deer, right? So I was like, I'm chilling. And I have pits for passive gold, so... That was very nice. I decided to go back to not overcommit, because I was like, okay, he's gonna do a push, I just gotta defend. I actually made a tower here, and I switched the landmark to stone, so I can get enough stone to get a sprinkler placement in 45, just so I don't lose this. This placement on Moscow is really bad, I should probably place it in the back. But, yeah, so I was like, as long as I defend now, I don't even need to do any damage at this point, I just gotta defend, I'll be good to go. And he does the composite bows push, which obviously is giga strong. And I'm massing my units. And my fortify outpost finishes like just in time, which doesn't do crazy amounts, you know, but it kills some units. I got poison archers, and I'm going mass soap at the same time. I'm doing some harassment here, more villagers killed. And he gets the tower, and then he starts making rams. So I decided to just go for a massive counterattack, because we have pretty similar amount of archers. Mine are poison archers, he has composite bow archers. So composite bow archers are better, but he can't really dive under town center. So I was like, okay, if he kills this stuff, I'm just gonna go dive his villagers. So I killed this guy, I dive the villagers on gold, he starts losing economy. And even if I lose this gold, it's completely fine because I'm doing damage on the other side of the map. 14 workers killed. So again, the worker count might look good, but if you look at the income, I have way more income right now. Like I have like 1,000 resources per minute extra or something. And also I started getting relics, which actually died, but... yeah. So here he has Gulam Archer, which is pretty hard comp to deal for Malians, I think. And yeah, right now I just have like way too many units. So I just managed to overwhelm him because his economy, like I said, is not that good. So even if we trade equally, that's still really good for me. I'm still harassing here. This is the same cavalry from earlier, so it's distracting him quite a bit. 17 villagers killed. And yeah, at this point I felt pretty comfortable. I got some golds here going. I'm getting some relics. And now with this amount of poison archers, I can pretty much deal with anything. Still raiding. And he already has to go farms at like He started transition to farms in like 14-15 minutes, which is insanely fast. Like, insanely fast. And, well, he just taps out. So that was game number 1. Now, game number 2 is funny, which I will show you guys in a second. Well, I won the game without killing a single unit, let's just say that. There was no units killed from either side, and I have won the game. So mountain clearing, I noticed in the draft he doesn't play mountain clearing nor Holy Island, and we each veto one map first, and then pick one. So the moment I saw that he always vetoes these 2 maps, I was like, okay, well, if he vetoes one, I'll pick the other. So he vetoed Holy Island, I picked mountain clearing, and I suspected he's gonna pick HRE here, which I have a lot of practice in, like HRE Mirrors or HRE versus English or whatever, so I felt pretty confident. And it was basically rushing castle from both. So the idea here in this map with HRE is you rush castle and you take relics. In an HRE Mirror, whoever takes the middle relic usually has big advantage, because then you have 3 relics and the opponent is 2, so you have a lot more gold per minute. I'm pushing the deer under the chapel with my scout. He's doing the same on this side. And we're both aging up. It's looking good. Prelate goes in. Look at that. Just pure food and gold. Now, he put some villagers on wood, which is an oopsie doopsie, because you don't need wood, right? So even that small delay. And not all his villagers are gathering from deer. Some of them are gathering from sheep. Meanwhile, I targeted all my villagers onto deer. So if you look, I have a lot higher income. I aged up at, what was that, 517, 516. And I'm aging up with 13, 14 workers. So again, the idea is to just pick up the middle relic. That's like the #1 thing. And the funny thing is, you might think that, well, if he made units, he can deny my relic. But if he makes units, then his cathedral is even later. And then I can just take 2 of my relics, make units, and then I take the middle. So it's just a weird fucking game. I mean, I always said this map is a meme map. So he's waiting for my prelate so he can pull Marine Lord's mom onto it. I bring my scout back. He's trying to get my prelate's killed. I bring my scout back. I pick up the boar basically, and I just tank it. I yoink the relic. And then I was like, well, this relic's looking fucking juicy, innit? He tries to garrison, but that ain't gonna work. And now, because I have 2 relics, I have this relic and this relic. That is 4 relics to 1. And he just taps out. So literally 0 units killed. I mean, he has no chance. Like, let me put it that way. If that's the question, like, could he have won? I mean, if I had like a stroke or something, maybe, yeah. But, you know, most likely not. Like, I'm getting, how much is that? 160? I'm getting 640 gold passive. Right? 640 gold passive. He would get 160 gold passive. Like, that's just... So my 3rd game is missing from the match history. So I gotta pull some wizardry here. Okay. So apparently if I go restart now... Yo, did you see that? Sheesh. Thank you, Cascade. Yo, did you guys see that? Huh? Alright, so this game is not in match history, but we got it to work. What would you say Mista and Mars? I mean, I have no idea. How's Cascade's so smart? Dude, I don't know. But it's crazy. So this is game number 3, and this was on Regions, another tournament map. And this was French versus Ottoman. Now, I have seen Mista play Ottoman quite a few times. Obviously, I prepared for my opponent. I, watched his replays and all that. And, well, he loves going for 2 TC. And then he loves rushing castle. Like, making some units, but rushing castle. So I knew this. And, obviously I knew there's a chance he picks Ottomans here. I wasn't sure because Ottoman is his very popular pick on this map. But I also thought there's a possibility of English on this map because he did play English quite a few times before in this map. So I decided to go with French. And figured if I play French versus English, that's really good for French. If I play French versus Ottoman, I know what he's gonna do, so I felt pretty comfortable. So I already had a game plan, yeah, I was gonna go 2 town centers and then just go all out. What's the map name? Regions. So here I age up. He ages up. He actually splits my deer here really well, which was kind of annoying, but it is what it is. He tried to push in his deer further, but I managed to spread him out a little bit, but not very successful. And I tried to harass with knight. He defended pretty well, to be honest. Like, he had spears everywhere. I forced some idle time there, but yeah, he had spears in a moment, like everywhere. I tried to deny the stone, I couldn't, but I did get my second town center faster than his, so I guess it's it's something, right? So here, I initially was like, I'm gonna make it here, and I was like, they're so spread out. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go for this one. If you go for deer here, you basically can do like a wall and then get some wood here after too. You get some deer. Which is basically like almost 2 deer packs full, right? So I was like, yeah, I'll go for there. My boar is in a pretty bad spot, like there's nothing around it, so it's not worth making a town center. If I was in his spot, this would be fucking insane spawn, like deer plus boar, so that'd be really good. But yeah, I try to kill villagers here. But like I said, he defended pretty well. He goes for town center right here. He loses the scout in the middle, and I think, yeah, this is where I pick off the first villager. So he rushes the TC. He has a lot of spearmen, so like 1 or 2 archers won't do much. TC finishes, my TC finishes, and now all I needed to do is confirm that he will do what I thought he would do, which is rush castle. So here I'm trying to scout. And you can see I'm going around, and the purpose is denying the gold and slash scouting if he's actually going for what I thought it was going. He tries to wall here. I arrive just in time. And what do I see? I see 9 workers on gold, and I see not like full production. Like, he doesn't have, more barracks or archer ranges or whatever. So I see that he is indeed going for the strategy that I thought he would. So yeah, now that I did deny the gold, this is really bad for him already. Like, this is not a good situation because he's clearly now going back, so he's trying to force it, and again he is skipping eco upgrades, which Mista does quite often. And like, this wouldn't be maybe as bad if he had like eco upgrades, and now it's like, okay, just transition to more army or something, or like, fight a little bit. But because he's skipping all the eco upgrades, he kind of has to continue on this. He's kind of committed, right? So he defends that small push. I go on the boar on this side, and now I'm just spamming units I got my production going. And I decide not to just be aggressive, but I decide to be extremely aggressive because I know that he is skipping units. Now, the unit count might look similar, so it might be like, yo, isn't that risky? Well, he has to defend 2 sides, so if I just continue pushing both sides, it's going to be pretty hard for him. Here, knight gets another villager, He does a little run by here. I think he kills like a villager or two. No, he kills 3 actually, which was really good for him. Here I go for the dive again, and I don't even have +1 ranged attack yet, as you can see. So I just continue diving because, again, I know what his game plan is, and there's no point like going back and playing it safe because I know he's cutting units. And you can see some villagers are idle there. He's close to castle. I keep forcing more idle time. He loses like 4 Sipahi here, or 5 Sipahi. So he actually had no Sipahi at home. So now my archers can basically kill all the spearmen if I wanted to. And I kill his scouts too. So now the worker count is looking pretty bad for him. Obviously he has 2 military schools, but you know, 10 worker kills is quite a bit. And in a second, I see that he is aging up. I don't see any units come out, by the way, which is an important thing to track. Like I don't see anything coming out, not even Sipahi or archers. So I'm like, okay, he is probably aging up. So I'm trying to find it where it is. That's why I went on this side. Now I'm going on this side, and I see he is trying to age up. So what I do is I just take all my units from here. I dive through the town center. And I just dive onto the landmark, killing more and more villagers. Because even if he ages up, the spearmen are getting focus fire, by the way. Even if he ages up now, it doesn't matter that he's castle because he has no gold. And I know he has no gold. How do I know? Well, this map only has 2 golds. Small golds and then 3 big golds in the middle. He has 1 gold here. And the second gold is here, and I had a scout patrolling. So I know that he is on 0 gold right now. So if I just keep diving like a fucking baboon, not only he won't be able to mine gold, but he also will run out of food eventually. So my +1 armor is still yet to come, and yeah, I mean I didn't even go for rams because I don't need them. Again, I'm just standing here. He's not mining gold, so what is he gonna do? You know. So I'm just chilling, nothing here, and I decide to just start going for it. I'm still massing units, but I am slowly transitioning into castle, which I will age up in a moment. So here again I can see he is not mining gold. He's not mining gold here. And again, more idle time. You know, every time I charge in, he tries to garrison. He has no wheelbarrow, so that's gonna kick W. I see him back on gold. And now, obviously, if I attack here, then he will try to protect this, right? So I knew that his army is gonna be there, so I just dive on this side while like poking here at the same time. I pick up some spearmen. Meanwhile, my units are running in. More villagers are going down. 16 now, 17. He spawns Janissaries from the Vizier point. I managed to run away here, save some units, and the moment I saw Janissaries, I like immediately shift-clicked them with my archers because they're very, very strong. So you can see the idle time. He's got 28 idle right now, and then he's got 11 on stone. Like he can't even make anything with that stone because it's not enough to keep. The Janissaries go down except 1. My targets fire that too, I think, just like now. Or no, I don't even do that. And the game ends. So yeah, that's one way to deal with someone that wants to rush castle with very few units. You can just keep going for it and keep diving. And even if he what's it called? Even if he ages up, like I said, it's kind of pointless. Even if he had some gold and then made like men-at-arms versus knights don't really do much. And the amount of units that I had, I would just kill men-at-arms even though they have high armor. So, yeah. So that series ended 3-0. So this is the bracket. I'm going to show you guys. Boom. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this is the bracket. B has beaten Vortex 3-1. I beat Mista 3-0. Marine Lord beat Demu 3-1. That series was pretty good. I would say second and third game are pretty good. First and fourth, not so much. So you can check those out if you like. And then Lucifer and Louis was really interesting, actually. Louis started with a 1-0 lead. Played pretty solid, I gotta say. Just solid video gameplay. But then they had an hour game on Canal. And there was a point where I was like, oh, Louis is winning this. And honestly, if Louis won Canal, I think he would have probably won like 3-0. Because this game was an hour. And usually when you have these kinds of games where they're super long, like mentally sometimes it's hard to recover. So I think if Louis won this one, he would have probably won 3-0, which is kind of crazy because to qualify for top 8, he beat Poppy Paw. And then he, I would say, really did really well against Lucifer. So good for him. Yeah, all these games are cast on EGC TV. They also have a YouTube channel, but I don't know when those are going to be uploaded. So on Saturday, September 30th, I'm playing against B in the semifinals, the best of 7, and Marine Lord is playing against Luciferon. So should be a lot of fun. I mean, I've been doing really well this tournament. I'm 18-1 in group, and then here I won 3-0, so I'm 19-1 so far, which is very nice. And then last but not least, these are the stats for the tournament. Are they updated though? They're not updated. Statistics. So the playoffs has not been updated yet, because I'm supposed to have 21 wins, not 18. But I guess not updated yet, but hopefully at some point. How do you find these stats? AOE4world.com/tournaments. And you'll have all the list of the tournaments, so you can see win rates in each tournament. What are my predictions? I mean, I think I'm going to win my semifinals, for sure. It's going to depend a little bit what matchups we get, but I am, I don't know what word to use, expecting, hoping a 4-0 or a 4-1. Hopefully not a 4-3, that's too close for me, for my liking. Hopefully I don't lose, and a 4-2 would be all right too. You know, as long as I win, I'll be happy. And then Luciferon versus Marine Lord. Marine Lord apparently has a really good win rate against Luciferon in tournaments, but I know they have been practicing a little bit together, so I'm gonna say 4-2 for Marine Lord. But I know that's kind of like a boring prediction, but you know that's kind of why we're usually favorites, right? So we'll see. I think the games are gonna be like fun either way. It's best of 7, and finals is best of 7 as well. So yeah, we will see. Anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks so much for watching. I'll probably make another video after the next weekend, like after the semifinals and finals are done. YouTube gamers, check me out on Twitch. I'm probably live right now. Twitch gamers, let's keep going.